You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and the quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA worthlessly lazy, but so game crazy.
This is episode 98, and I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Blood Gaming.
Hello.
It's been a while.
It's been quite a while.
Entirely put the blame on me for being a terrible content creator.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
We just rested on our laurels after the awesome last episode with the game deflators, I think.
We need to make sure everybody got a bit of that, yeah.
We got some energy and put everything into that one. Yeah, well, we're back, and a lot of shit has happened, and a lot of it's old news now.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just touch on it very briefly, but
yeah.
Nonetheless, how you been?
I've been great.
And lazy. Being lazy is great to be.
I
love being lazy. Like,
yeah.
I don't call me Captain Energy or anything.
Right. Yeah.
I do love video games, and video games require laziness. Unless I'm playing like Connect or Ring Fit or some shit.
I guess. I mean, I'm not a person that has to be in the mood to play video games. I'm always in the mood to play video games. You know?
Oh yeah, but I mean, like those ones are like more energetic because you got to work out.
Yes, true.
So you got to be in the mood for that kind of shit.
Well, I haven't probably played my VR in a while. I really need to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that requires moving your arms. Ugh. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm very in need of a VR sesh. But I haven't got my copy of Iron Man VR. It's stuck over across the border.
Of course.
And Americans got to keep acting up, so the borders stay closed.
Oh, and
God damn
fun fact about Iron Man VR, Layla Birch, who is the wife of Curtis Frazzle.
Are you making these names up?
No. Layla Birch is a voice actress. I think she might be like Piper or the computer.
No. Yeah, she's a computer. I can't remember what this one's called.
Okay.
But
she is the wife of Curtis Frazzle, and he is a member of the Cartridge Club, the host of the Cartridge Club Portable, and he also they have a YouTube channel. It's still there, but Girlfriend Versus.
Cool. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But that's pretty neat. Yeah, she recently announced, I'm assuming there was like an NDA or something. I don't know.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
We should get them on. Get them on the podcast. Talk about some Iron Man VR. But that would entail you getting Iron Man VR.
True. Which, unless I hear like incredible things about it, I don't know. We'll see though.
It's Iron Man in VR. It's incredible. It's incredible, man.
I'll wait for your review.
I just gave it to you, man. I played the demo. The demo was fun as shit.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. I haven't really looked into it. But instead of looking forward, maybe we should look backwards at some retro games.
Chef.
About
in the time since our last episode, a lot of the games have become retro.
Yeah, true that. But let's do our retro game highlight. And last time, John, one of the game deflators, John and Ryan, talked about Dark Cloud. So what do you got for us this time?
I'm going to stick with a release from that generation and a release that I'm currently playing, actually. Onimusha.
Nice.
Goddamn. The regrets are deep with me for not playing. I've wanted to play this for years. And thanks to the Backlog Roulette from Super Enabler Bros show, I have started playing it at last. And hell, Yeah, it is so awesome. It is essentially Resident Evil with samurais.
Yep.
It's amazing. I love it. I'm playing the remaster on PS4 because I figured I might as well, and it's really gripped me. I mean, lucky we're recording tonight. You could have blamed me for tonight because I kind of just want to keep playing it. It's it's all about like a lone samurai going up against a bunch of demons and shit like that.
Yeah. I've always heard great things. I have the entire series, I think. And I've not played them, but I've watched friends play little bits here and there.
Yeah.
It's a game I definitely want to play eventually.
Do you have the Game Boy Advance one?
No, I do not.
Then you lie.
Well, I have all the PS2 ones.
Yeah, there's Onimusha Tactics.
Okay, I don't have that either.
Then there's that's the GBA game. Then there's Onimusha Warlords, which is the first one. Samurai Destiny, which is the second one. Demon Siege, which is the third one. Dawn of Dreams, which is the fourth one. And Blade Warriors, which I believe is a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Genma Onimusha on the original Xbox.
It's a lot of Onimusha.
It's a lot of games that I have that I wasn't playing. I had 3 versions of the first one. I'm like, what if this game sucks? When I just look like a real idiot? So I'm glad I'm loving it because I bought 3 copies of it.
Good.
I'm glad I'm probably gonna keep going with the series after this.
Awesome.
Maybe not right away, but yeah, I'm really happy that I got it in the backlog roulette. It's one of those games where you're just like, I don't know why I didn't play this. I even made a video about games and series that I've always been interested in but never played, and this was on there.
Right.
And that wasn't enough of a fire under my ass to play it. But yeah, if you have been like me and just kind of been like, that looks awesome. Anyway, other games. Turn back, check out Onimusha. It is great.
Sweet.
Any way you can. It's on PS2, original Xbox, and PS4. So, yeah, might as well get some trophies, right?
Yeah. For sure. So, yeah, we got lots of games to talk about because we like to talk about what we've been playing. But we got a few news things come and gone. Mostly old news, like you said.
Huge old news.
Because it's been like a month. So
the PS5 event that we heavily dropped the ball on.
Yeah.
It's the PS5 is closer to being out than it's about as close to being out as it's been since they showed what it looked like. And we're just talking about it now.
Yes.
But it looks ugly, but I'm gonna buy it.
Absolutely. I'm super bummed that it's white because
there'll be a black version, I'm sure.
At launch.
I doubt it. Ain't expensive. It'll be easy to put skins on at least. Like you could easily put some shit on that thing.
Put a Monster Energy sticker on it. People that do that.
Whenever you see a random console for sale and it's got just the randomest stickers on it.
Yeah.
It'll be like something that came with a pair of shoes on there and a monster and a obey.
Yeah.
Just come on.
Yeah. Aside from that, lots of for me anyways, I thought there was a lot of sweet games.
What do you think? I don't like video games? For me, there were some good games in there too.
A lot of good games.
Well, let's quickly, what's some highlights that you're super into?
Dang it. Put me on the spot.
You've had a month.
Okay, so
just kidding. Our memory is not that great, but
my memory is short term is terrible.
Well, I figure you at least remember what looked super.
So of course, Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
That should be sweet because Spider-Man was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it's a spin-off game. It's not a sequel. Like a lot of people at first were thinking this was the sequel.
I don't remember. Oh, there was like a Project Athia.
Yeah.
which is probably getting
the Square Enix one. Yeah,
that looks sweet. Stray. Who doesn't want to play as a cat?
my daughter is gonna be glued to me while I play that. I have to get that right away, and I'm sure it's because we watched the event together, and she's like, "Dad, are you getting that kitty game?" And I was like, "Yeah." My kid meows like a cat all the time. Avison is just.
I like how many times I've heard your wife tell you that she wants a cat, and you just like, no.
No, we've had cats, so that's a heavy no for me.
I love cats. I got 2.
I loved my cats, but I never want another cat.
Oh, I always want a cat. I always want 2 cats. Anyways, we had 2 like time loop games, Returnal and Deathloop. Deathloop, of course, Arcane Studios, so I'm sold just on that fact alone.
Yeah.
Returnal, I think, looks pretty wild.
How do you feel about that Astrobot game? That doesn't look like it's a VR game.
I'm disappointed. There was a Playroom or something on PS4 VR. There's some besides Astrobot rescue mission. So I was pretty bummed about that. I was really, really looking forward to an Astrobot
Follow-up
rescue mission sequel, because that is like that's an awesome game. It's the best platformer I've played on VR. I haven't played any others besides like Trover, and I love Trover too.
And honestly, it not being VR kind of loses its appeal to me.
Like, yeah. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's gonna be the little game that they show you all the like little features of the PS5 controller and whatnot." But whatever. Then there was Kenna. I think it is how it's Kena or Kenna. Kind of looks like a DreamWorks animated game.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that looks neat." Ghostwire Tokyo. That looks weird as hell. But that looks
we've
cool.
seen that before, but it was cool to see more. It looked less survival horror than it did originally, though.
Yeah.
Looks more like Cyberpunk or something now.
It kind of reminded me of Sirento.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Then what else? Jet the Far Shore. That looked interesting. Some sort of I don't even know what it is. It's just like, oh, that looks interesting, so I put it on my list. Solar Ash, the follow-up, the next game by Heart Machine, who made Hyperlight Drifter, and it's basically like it looks like kind of like 3D Hyperlight Drifter in a way.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Little Devil Inside, I think. What was that? I'm trying to remember. It looked like a.
Sounds like a girls' metal band from the early 2000s.
Yeah, a new metal band. It's like a 3D RPG or something. It looked interesting. Pragmata, that looks crazy.
Is that the one with the astronauts and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. That's my jam.
The game that makes you guess what the hell's going on until it finally at the end.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Demon Souls remake looks amazing. Blue Point, Shadow of the Colossus. That just shows the kind of quality that we can look forward to, and I can finally play Demon's Souls because I never played it.
I mean, you can play it before you play it.
True, but it's dead. No online or anything.
Do it yourself.
Pass. They started showing the trailer to Resident Evil Village, and I was like, this is Resident Evil 8. And then they're like, Resident Evil Village. And I was like, haha.
That was the coolest reveal, though.
Yeah, that was sweet. That actually had me like, oh, I was like,
yeah, that was probably my most ooh moment of the whole thing.
Yeah,
it looked super Resident Evil-y, but I was like, oh, it might be something new. But then werewolves and
yeah,
you got your werewolves from Resident Evil. I mean, it's not exclusively a zombie series, so
yeah,
it's kind of cool to see new things.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. And then I think the last one that I had was, of course, Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm instantly sold.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
What that new God of War they showed off. Oh, they didn't.
Yeah.
It would have been the perfect reveal event if
Too
if that had
soon.
they've been in there.
They could have done like what Nintendo always does. We'll just show them a logo.
Yeah. God of War in development. Be out in 4 years.
It's like, yeah, no shit. Of course it is. It was successful. Like,
I'm still waiting for a screenshot to go with my Metroid Prime 4 logo from like 3 years ago.
yeah.
It's still in my pre-order thing on Amazon.
Nice.
So I should still get the 20% discount for pre-ordering.
Oh yeah.
I ordered that's all it is. It'll be my last game I get pre-ordered like that.
Yeah, for sure.
If I don't, I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm like, hey, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. And then there's been lots of little announcements. Like there was the PC gaming event, which I thought it was very lackluster overall. There's been some other stuff, but today had one that I was really excited for and didn't really expect this much quality stuff being announced. But Limited Run Games basically did their thing, and they call it LRG3.
Yeah,
I
get it.
And basically they announced a lot of the games that they're going to be releasing for the rest of this year. And holy cow, I'm buying a lot of these.
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, like
5.
I will say what I am overly disappointed about is that so many of these games are only Switch as far as it's been announced right now.
Yeah,
so that sucks.
That's
a lot. But I'll still pick up some of these games because I mean, that's it.
I mean, some of them are expected, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon too. You're like, you best be doing that.
Yeah.
That was one of my most
I hope so.
ones.
But I loved the fact that they opened right up and announced that they are doing original Shantae. They're doing a Game Boy Color release, and they're doing a Switch release.
Ooh.
So that's sweet.
You can have a second repro.
Yeah.
Your authentic copy.
Absolutely. Because I already have a repro. And then they also... No, what?
But not that one.
Yeah, right. Well, I need it.
Yeah.
So, well, if I'm sticking with my Shantae collection, that is, which I am. So, and then they also announced they're doing Risky's Revenge for the Switch.
No one was on the edge of their seat for that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Is he getting rid of it? Is he getting out of the game?
No, absolutely not. But on top of the Shantae news, they're also doing A Boy and His Blob remake. That's like, hey, that's pretty cool. I still haven't played it, but I have it. And the one that I was really excited about was The Mummy Demastered.
Yeah,
which
I want to play that.
I actually
bought it.
I bought it digitally on Steam a couple months ago because like there was a bunch of talk about it possibly getting delisted. So I was like, oh, snatch that up before that happens. And so that's sweet. And then they announced they're doing a release for Extreme Sports, which is a WayForward Game Boy Color game, like a interesting sports adventure game. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty cool.
I'm excited about Castlevania
Collection. Hell yeah. It sucks that I held off on getting it digitally, but
you have it.
Do I?
From me. Yeah, because we did I said, yeah, grab it. If you didn't grab it, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Because you could easily grab it and play it.
Yeah.
What? You're gonna buy this now? So
yes, I'm gonna have it.
I'm gonna buy that now, even though I've got
it. Right. Everybody's already heard that Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. That was just announced like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in 2 days. And of course, Limited Run's doing a release for that, so I'm sure it's going to be very much in style of the first release, so we can get those like matching like mock NES special editions or whatever.
I'm gonna have to do that again. I'll be buying it on Friday anyway. It'll probably be the day this comes out, honestly. So yeah, I'll probably buy it on Xbox. So then when the Limited Run does it, I'll buy the PS4 version. That's my plans.
Yeah. And yeah, there's some stuff they already announced. There's a bunch of games that are getting a Switch version, like I said. But for new announcements, Carrion game where you play like a blob of horror. You're like eating everybody or something. Like I've been really excited for that game for a while. Limited Run's doing they only announced a Switch release, which is like
PS.
What? But I'll pick that up. It's kind of weird they're doing a Mega Dimension Neptunia 7 or VII, I don't know, Victory or whatever the hell it is. Switch port of that. So I was like, that's interesting.
Grandia 1 and 2.
Yeah, Grandia 1 and 2 HD.
Hopefully they fixed it. I heard it was kind of rough.
Yeah,
if it's fixed, I'd probably grab those.
Yeah,
as much as I have them all already, but
for sure. Katana Zero, which again, here's another Switch only announcement. Which I swore there was a PS4 release or something, and I thought I pre-ordered it, but
maybe
I guess I didn't, because I looked it up and I didn't see anything about it, so I'm guessing I just made that up.
Well, what the damn crap.
What were the other big ones? I've heard great things about Return of the Obra Dinn, but again, that's a Switch only limited run announcement.
You'll be stoked when you get that Switch of yours.
Yeah, it's making me consider it a lot more. I got a couple games already on Switch that I want to play, but I thought it's good for Squanch Games, but they are doing a Trover Save the Universe for Switch, which again, much like Astrobot Rescue Mission, I think the VR aspect really elevates the game.
Oh yeah,
so much. So they're going to lose that on the Switch, but hopefully people still enjoy it. I know the PS4 version you can play without VR.
Yeah, but play with VR.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes it 100 times better, because I played a little bit without the VR after I beat it and platinumed it. I was like, I wonder what it'd be like this. I'm like,
yeah,
it's still funny, but just being in the it's just so atmospheric if you're wearing the headset and the VR goggles. So.
And then I think the only other there are some other ones, but the other standout one to me that I think is really cool is the Monkey Island 30th anniversary collection.
Yeah.
So that'll be neat. I've only played the original Monkey Island. I played it when they first did the remaster of it, which was one of the first kind of remasters of more modern games.
I played it on 360 when it came out.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago, and I played that version. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Oh, Mighty Gunvolt Burst too. I thought that's a series I need to play. I got a couple of them.
Yeah, I went and bought that Switch game a while ago, and then I found out it's on PS4 also. And I was like,
I think they announced it came out on PS4 later, if I remember.
I got it cheaper. Yeah, I think it came out right when I bought the Switch one. And I was like, oh yeah, that would happen. So I might trade up at some point, but I'm happy I got it cheap, so I didn't pay full price for it, so I won't feel bad getting rid of it.
Yeah,
or just having it and playing it, whatever.
Then there was a game announcement that you caught that I missed.
Bitch, just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think we mentioned it back and forth. Or did I guess I mentioned it to you first, to Shakedown Hawaii. coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Wii U game. And apparently it's actually coming out in North America. Because at first it was looking like it was just getting released in the UK, which I think the Wii version only is of that. So that kind of sucks. Or wait, there's only... Oh, the Wii version is the Hotline Miami. Sorry. They're doing the Hotline Miami on Wii, and I think it's only coming out.
On Wii?
Yeah. Man, look at the screenshots I send you once in a while. What the damn crap? You made me say damn.
Well, Hotline Miami on the Wii will be sweet.
Yeah. But,
I mean, the more access that people have to Hotline Miami, the better. I think a lot of people dismiss the game because I think it's just like one of those like crazy hard games. It's not that hard, and it has a great story, but like just play it for the music, if nothing else. Like the music is amazing.
Yeah.
Hotline Miami for the win. I even bought that Switch collection.
Oh, shit.
I don't even have a Switch.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a dumbass. I second guessed myself, and I was right. Retro City Rampage. Sorry.
Oh,
Rampage is coming out on Wii. Sorry. Good thing I double checked. I saved us a lot of hateful messages, unless they just turned it off right away and left the hateful message.
These guys are a joke.
Fucking idiots. Yeah. I always mix the two of those up, but also a cool game. But yeah, it's not on the Wii. Apparently only in the UK, so it's a bummer. But
yeah.
I'm sure there's ways around it.
Yeah. Then it looks like we had a unfortunate game delay.
And who's not used to those by now?
Yeah. I think that's going to be the norm for the next little bit.
Norm's a piece of shit. But Tales of Arise is delayed, and it's the next sequel in the line of my favorite RPG series.
I mean, did they have a date on that?
It was supposed to be like holiday season this year, but it got pushed back. So
because I feel like that's a game that they would put on the PS5.
Well, they probably will now.
Yeah.
Or maybe both.
Maybe. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. Tales was Berseria was a lot of fun, but it really needs that graphical jump, and I think that will like really be awesome.
Yeah. Well, anything I've seen on this one has looked cool so far.
Yeah.
And Berseria is one of my favorite games this gen, so
yeah, sweet.
That's why the hype was real with me for that. I was just downplaying it, but I'm super sad. Sad as a motherfucker. Anyway.
Well, don't be sad.
We got something to watch in the meantime by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Because Cyberpunk Edge Gunners has been announced as a new anime from Studio Trigger. And it'll follow different characters, new characters from the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
And of course, everybody knows Studio Trigger because of the Shantae and the Seven Sirens intro.
Only.
As well as Indivisible. They helped with Indivisible's intro as well.
Sweet.
Not because they made Kill la Kill or Little Witch Academia.
Yeah.
I love Studio Trigger, so heck yeah.
It's going to be cool. I can't wait.
Even if it wasn't Trigger, I'd probably check out a Cyberpunk. If it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Someone, hopefully...
I wonder if it'll be out before the game. See if these guys can draw faster than...
Keep delaying it.
Yeah,
Keep delaying the game.
Oh, if it goes past November, I'm gonna do nothing about it. I'm still gonna keep my pre-order.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be real sad and do a big frown.
I mean, there's expectations are high. That's what I'll say. So they really need to make sure that's a polished gem when it comes out.
Yeah. Well, they got to follow up that Witcher 3, and Witcher 3 was a fucking masterpiece. So yeah, I mean, you'd know better than me.
I will know.
There we go.
Maybe next month when Cartridge Club plays Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And I know I already got the copy.
What?
You PS4.
Well, lucky you.
And I actually just picked up the Game of the Year edition on the Steam summer sale. I got it for like $15 at the game, and Blood into Wine and the other DLC.
Sweet.
So I was like, maybe we'll see. We'll see where I'm at, because there's a big game coming out later this month. So I'm not sure.
When I finally finished up at the beginning of this year, I got the add-ons for, I think it was like $6 or something for both of them. So
Nice.
I nabbed those and I'll probably jump into those when Cartridge Club is playing it to be a participant.
Do it.
You do it.
I might. I'm heavily considering it. That's why I'm actually kind of happy.
I dare you, actually.
Cyberpunk got delayed, because I was like, with Cyberpunk originally coming out in August, I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with The Witcher. And now it's delayed, and now I got nothing.
Make sweet Geralt love.
Huh?
I'm just saying, dude, pounds. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah.
Yeah, good game. GG's.
Next item.
But I do dare you to play it. I dare you. Now you got to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the next thing, Facebook seems like they're really trying to step into the ring of,
harvesting all your data.
Yeah, well, they've been doing that for years. But being the next big thing for streaming, they've always kind of had it, but it's been kind of half-assed. But with Mixer getting shut down, Microsoft and Facebook have been kind of trying to get people to switch over to Facebook streaming, and they're also trying to get into like game development by the look of it, because they bought Ready at Dawn.
Yeah. Well, Facebook owns Oculus.
Yeah. And so they're the developer that made Lone Echo and Order 1886. And I hear a lot of people talk about that game, but
I haven't played either of them, and I hear both of them are great. People bitched about 1886 because it was short.
It was short at full price. I mean, if I paid $80, I'd probably shit on it, but I paid like $15 or $10. And for that, it was an awesome game, I thought.
Yeah, everything I hear about the game is great. I
still
haven't played it.
I dare you to play it. I think you might be scared of it because you heard there's werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
Scared.
Can't handle the scary games.
Too fright.
Did you give me a copy of that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I also gave you a copy of Witcher 3. Oh my god, it's becoming the new Yakuza's era.
Hey.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Well, what else you got?
As I always like to mention, when gamers, the organization or the content creation group that makes video game documentaries, Gamers spelled GVMERS on YouTube, definitely subscribe. They make awesome game documentaries. They did a video on the revival of Half-Life, covering some of the development and what we possibly get to look forward to thanks to the release of Half-Life Alyx. And as always, just their documentaries are just top notch. So,
you know what, guys? I dare you subscribe to them. Check that shit out. Well,
yeah,
everyone's gotta
I double dog dare.
Oh shit! I'm shaking.
I just brought it.
Just wielding that gauntlet. Damn. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, so then, since we both played The Last of Us 2, and Last of Us 2 was my most anticipated game of this year, I believe yours is Cyberpunk.
The Last of Us as well.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk's definitely the game I'm most stoked for this year.
Right.
Which enrages me. They'll be like, coming out a day later, I'm like, you assholes! But, yeah.
Yeah. So, screw the controversy. All the people who are like review bombing and whatever, they're completely wrong. And
Okay, so now that I've played and beat it, what was everyone bitching about? Because I paid zero attention.
okay, so
At first I thought it was because some people were just finding out that Ellie was a lesbian. But that turns out that's not the big deal. Like I heard it. That's all I heard about. It was some people were like, "Oh, now they got to make her a lesbian." I'm like, did you?
I'll put a big spoiler warning here for anybody listening that doesn't want to hear spoilers. This should be about like the 34-minute mark of the podcast. Maybe like skip ahead like 5-10 minutes.
Put a timestamp in the description.
Work.
I made you do work.
Yeah, right.
You're just gonna edit out my voice.
So, the entire controversy boils down to a few things. Yes, as you mentioned, there was people upset that Ellie was a lesbian, and again, that's stupid because if they played the last Left Behind DLC in the original, it covers that, and it is fantastic. And who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Big deal. It's not like they're making it like a big showboat, soapbox thing. She's in the game. She's a lesbian. Okay, whatever. I think the other main things that people are upset about, and again, spoiler warning, so skip ahead if you don't want The Last of Us 2 spoiled.
Check the timestamp and skip ahead.
Yeah, just skip ahead. Is a lot of people are upset that they feel that the advertising and the trailers for The Last of Us 2 misled them because it showed Joel in certain situations, and again, spoilers, that Joel dies like really early in The Last of Us 2. And a lot of people are really upset about that they were under the expectation that this was another Joel and Ellie game through the entire game. And they're upset about the fact that Joel died. These are the people who I say they probably shouldn't watch Game of Thrones because you're going to be very upset all the time.
But The Walking Dead would be a closer comparison. Where, do you really think all these people are going to get through it?
And then the other two parts is initially people didn't even know that you played as Abby. They were just upset that Abby was in the game as she's built.
It's Ronda Rousey, isn't it?
I'm probably inspired by, but it's not. People were like, oh, so they got to put in they were saying she was androgynous, which I totally disagree. She's not. It's not questionable. It's super obvious. She's just muscular. Then people were upset about the fact that you play as Abby, and the entire context of what transpired and her motivations, it puts you into her perspective. It's called storytelling, and people are really upset that they're like, "Ooh, I hate her. I don't want to play as her," which I think again is absolutely silly. And then to a lesser degree, the other part was Lev, the companion, I guess, to Abby in some aspects was transgendered. People were it's a motivation to what is going on in the story, but it doesn't really, again, they're not soapboxing anything.
Okay.
So it's very, 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 very.
So is this closed-minded people?
Just
being real,
being idiots.
Oh, it's not all hetero. It's
like they're just
turn me gay.
Offended by the fact that they're present.
Yeah.
The game's not making a political statement or anything.
Yeah.
It's just
honestly, people being uncomfortable by that. Honestly, and when I see stories with mushy love stories in general, I'm kind of put off by it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter who it is.
Sure. And that is totally fine. If somebody just the game's just not for them, yeah, sure. Okay. I understand that. Not everybody likes Lord of the Rings, which is absolutely insane.
Name one person, and then I'll say fuck that person. But
Sorry for any of our. No, I'm not sorry for any of our listeners. Lord of the Rings.
If you don't like Lord of the Rings, I don't like you.
And Last of Us 2 as well. Last of Us was my favorite PlayStation 3 exclusive. It's one of my favorite games of last generation, and The Last of Us 2, I think, is, for me, the quality is like it's right. I mean, the gameplay, the visuals, like all that aspect is you can't argue that it's better because they improved on it. The story is, whether somebody thinks the story is better or not, like, sure, that's, I prefer the original game. I have friends maybe in the Cartridge Club Hangouts discussion that should be available sometime soon. Maybe some people enjoyed The Last of Us 2's story more. But I loved it. I mean, through and through, everything about it, the acting, the story, like it. Oh, I love it. It's good. They did a fantastic job. You said in your tweet, it's like the best looking game available.
Just the amount of attention to detail that they didn't even need to put in. Like Naughty Dog's become kind of synonymous with shit like that, with like the Uncharted games and the first Last of Us and all that, and they just are just stepping it up every game now. It seems like Uncharted 4, some things were just like such ignorable little details where they clearly put a lot of as much as like the horse slipping in the mud and they're just being like that. You see like the print. It's not just like a footprint. Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I shared a couple of videos that were like 20 great features or whatever. I can't remember exactly what they're called.
Attention to detail moments.
Yeah, like gun smoke and like echoes and water bubbles. And if you go to a workbench, Ellie will pop out the ammunition before she starts working out the gun. Mm-hmm. Then when you're done, that ammunition's like you have to reload your gun to like recover that ammunition. Like just so much the combat. There's like so much you do that like you wouldn't even think about doing.
Yeah, and the vistas, like it's just walking around and exploring is 3/4 of the draw to me. Because I love watching. I don't know if you ever watch any of those like shows like it's called like After Humans or something. They'd be like 5 years after humans, this is what the world would look like if we just all died.
Yeah.
Or we all went extinct. And this kind of reminds me of that show.
Okay.
Where it would show like nature taking back over.
Oh yeah.
Or like I always love them when people do that like urban exploration where dilapidated buildings and the quarantine zone from the that Japanese
Fukushima.
Yeah, I love watching that, seeing people go into like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love the post-apocalyptic setting. Like that's one of my favorite settings in anything.
And this is more like the most detailed and more like well thought out shit, and just like the little things they say to each other. And I like when you like kill someone and someone's like, Danny.
Yeah,
when you shoot him, I'm like,
yeah, like they
had a name.
Like they really, they brought just so much more life to everything, and then they really threw in kind of that moral gray area by making you think that these are people, not just
NPCs,
an AI thing here. I mean, I think they did a decent job in the first game, but like just those little things where they're talking to each other and calling out and for their their dead friends or their missing friends.
They got Jeremy. He's like, goddamn right, I got Jeremy. Did you see that shit?
Yeah. I was like I said, I was basically from playing The Last of Us 1 3 times, like. And kind of stealth games being my thing. Like I was like a stealth murder machine. Like,
oh yeah.
When shit went down, of course, I pull out the shotgun and go gang.
Yeah. It's pretty funny how like they can carry all these backpacks and all this, and none of them do they have a bandolier, so you can have like 30 shots.
Sure.
Like you got to be good with your ammo, or else you're gonna be out pretty quick in these games.
Yeah.
You're like, really? I got 8 shots. There's not even one of those things, like other games where you got the shells mounted on the side of the shotgun. Or nothing like that. Just, come on. Just put some tape on it.
Yeah, and I loved the twist, because I really besides the initial the very initial teaser or trailer that they did with the game, that was just like a combat scene. And then the
so late in the game that looked like it was close to the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and then the other the dance at the dance hall, like when they did that, those are the only 2 trailers I saw.
Yeah,
everything else
really late game.
I was complete blackout. I didn't see any spoilers besides like 1 or 2 like really like kind of dumb things. So as I was playing the game, like I was honestly expecting this to be another like 15-hour game like the first one was.
Yeah. And
like I kept getting to all these points would be like, oh, we're getting like kind of close to a conclusion here, and they're like, oh, nope, you keep going. And then the whole Abby thing, like I did not expect that at all. Like I was like, okay, all right. And yeah, I was like a lot of people, yeah, of course I'm upset. Abby killed like one of my favorite video game characters of all time. I had a little bit of animosity, but they already kind of gave you some introduction before that maybe maybe there's a little bit more. Like she didn't just go out and just kill him for no reason. Like
I knew that something was going to happen to him. I was lucky enough to avoid all spoilers. I didn't know anything. That's why I didn't even know what the controversy was about, because I was like, oh, the controversy would probably be like spill it all out for me. So I'm like, yeah, I'll avoid it till I'm done.
I did, like, most of this is I've learned since, because I spend too much time on the internet, and I'm very good at selective looking.
Yeah.
So I was able to avoid most, like I said, other than a couple things. Yeah, but
all of it.
Yeah, I cannot hype The Last of Us enough. Like, it is so good. Last of Us 2 is like right there. And unless like just like in the entirety of like what these games are isn't your thing, like everybody really, really should play these games. The quality, the storytelling, the acting, like, oh my God. Like it's unfortunate video game actors and voice actors like don't get enough credit, because especially in this situation where it's more than just voice acting, like the actual voice actors are doing mocap and everything. Like,
yeah, and Abby's getting death threats.
Yeah, which that's Jesus Christ. Laura Bailey is like, she's a gem, like as far as I know, and it's just people are just garbage people.
And if you want to see why people are garbage, play this game. People are garbage.
Yeah,
a lot of people probably pass this off if they haven't played it. It's just like another zombie-ish game.
No, not even the first one is like that at all. It's entirely like it's about the narrative. Like it's about the characters. Like there's a reason why people like rave about this game so much. Like,
yeah, it was a really great, well-told story. I thought Abby's part dragged a little bit, though. It seemed to really take a while to get into where it was going. Is it just me, or did you play a game called Is This Door Locked or Not before you went to a door? Is this door going to be locked? Because it's pretty predictable after all. You're like, no, this door is going to be locked. Why are you even trying the front door? Really?
Yeah.
This door is not going to open. You crazy? It was the mini game I was playing in my head. Is the door going to be locked?
To be expected.
Bet it's locked. Bet you got to get a dumpster and crawl through a window. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think playing the first one and second one so close together, some minor gameplay things. I got kind of over it, but that was no one's fault.
Mhm.
Really, I was just kind of like, okay, I kind of want to see a conclusion now. I think it would have been benefited from being a bit shorter, but they in no way made a bad game.
I wanted it longer. I didn't want it to end.
But
really, I think for what it was, for me, flawless.
When she goes on her second revenge run.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, why are you going? You're not going to kill her. And then,
well, she was.
What?
She was. I think she was going. She fully intended.
That was her intent. I know, but I was like, why are you going? You're not going to kill her.
No.
You won't do it.
I didn't know. I didn't know where it was going to go. Like, I was actually kind of surprised how things panned out, but I like.
Well, when she put her down, I was like, yeah, you're not going to kill her. You're going to beat her up a bit. And then they're either going to become friends or they're going to go their separate ways.
I did not. I had a hard assume they were not going to become friends.
That part was cool though. The pillars, that's the coolest name for that area.
That's like, fucking sick. And that whole, it was like like, because in the first game we had like the cannibals and like some of like the just like the scavenger groups. I thought it was crazy, especially when you get ambushed in the pickup truck in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Like super intense. And like this whole segment, like you don't get a ton of info. It's just kind of like what you gather from like some of the like indistinct conversations that you have, and like this horrible fucking crew of people have established some like just disgusting settlement of who knows what the hell was going on, but just messed up. And I think that's great. I've heard some people say they wish like there was more information or story involving that, but I leave it as it is, because when you're just point A to point B, like you're not going to investigate like every group and the roots and where they came from and the rattlers. Yeah, that was crazy.
I called them the bounty hunters, because if you pick a group that would be like King Dog the bounty hunter. I am the dog. Red dog. No, let's bring him to dog, see what he thinks. That's what I was just totally thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, from what I've seen, there's basically two camps on this game. There's the people that played it, and then there's the people that didn't play it,
but got something to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that like I said, if it's not your kind of game to begin with, like I can respect that. I still think you should give it a shot, and maybe you'd be sold on it, but at least you're not like just making arbitrary, stupid reasons to hate something. Like, I mean, it seems like society, especially the internet, like everybody just wants to hate on everything. And I really try to like not, especially when it comes to video games, like I gotta hate.
I've
I mean, there's I
record a few times how I feel about that shit.
Yeah.
Everyone,
yeah, we've talked about this.
I'll fucking play it anyway. I don't give a shit what you have to say. You could tell me not to play a game, and I'd be like, respect your opinion.
Yeah,
but I wanna, so I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'd be like, it'll be my own fault if I agree with you later, but I'm gonna try it on my own and form my own opinion.
Yeah,
I would pay more attention to you saying it than other people, if that makes you feel better. But
it does.
But yeah, in general, you know how I feel about reviews and them seeing me playing a game. I'm like, well, I already bought it. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts that you wanted to touch on before we move on from Last of Us?
I wanted to know what happened to that guy's kids from the boat captain's kids.
I
was thinking they'd play into it more than they did, but they didn't. That was kind of a bummer. Just
another sad reality of
another cold trail.
Yeah. So let's jump into our community question. Last time we asked what your favorite footwear in gaming was. Following that up was from what was your favorite sword.
And
So, favorite footwear in gaming. We got a comment here from a Black Metal Gamer, and he says, let's be real, every child in the 90s wanted the big ass green shoe in Super Mario Brothers 3.
that was a cool ass shoe.
Absolutely. I thought that was awesome.
Beats
First time I
Air
played
Jordans.
Yeah, right. That's definitely a cool one. I think it's pretty iconic, and unfortunately that's all we had for community comments.
What's your favorite?
I think, and there's a lot of potentials, but the always the first one that came to my mind when I thought about it when we first came up with the idea, and when I reminded myself what it was, is the God damn it, I forgot the name of them, but the boots from Portal.
Yeah.
Basically,
Those like fall-proof boots, basically.
yeah, they're
That's what I was thinking too. Shit.
long fall boots. That's what they are. You had it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are, I mean, it's one of my favorite games.
They don't come into play very, very often in games that
Footwear, besides just kind of like
all the, you got the Pegasus boots, you got the steel boots from Ocarina of Time, you got the winged ones.
Yep.
Some cool ones. So I guess I'll have to go with that now because I knew you were totally going to do that, and I still was like, that's the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
What about the big ass boots from Gears of War?
Yeah.
Look,
Stumps.
you won't ever stub your toe into boots like that.
Indeed. And then as is tradition, we did not prepare a community question for next week.
I thought we were going to soak our arms in the pudding.
As is tradition.
I already had it rubbed on. Damn it. Well, shit.
Huh. I mean, we could keep going in this theme. Like, what's your favorite armor in gaming?
Sure, there we go.
We lazily came up with it, but we definitely want to know your thoughts. We will come up with some decent answers. I'm sure we'll have a little bit more diverse answers next time.
Shit. What are we coming to, man?
I mean,
all right. Well,
it is what it is.
Off that strength, what you been up to?
Yeah. So we got a few games to talk about. I'll just kind of run through as I know we're getting to that point already. But of course, Last of Us 2. I also did a Last of Us 2 unboxing video, which
For the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Not just standard. That'd be kind of boring.
And yeah, that was finally my motivation to go out and get another display cabinet, because I had I managed to pick up the Code Vein Revenant edition. I ended up importing it. I found a really good price. And I've had that for a while, and it's like, man, I really want to put that up.
I know you were waiting on me to be able to go with you to IKEA, because I need several of those goddamn things.
Yeah.
My collectibles are piling up around me.
But what an awesome statue, and it looks great, and it is sizable, and yeah. Then of course I finished, and I didn't play it on PS4, but I played on Steam. But I got basically the platinum for Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Absolutely fantastic. Kind of goes back to the Metroidvania style, less of the just platformer style the last couple of games have been.
Neat.
Kind of simple. I wish maybe they would have done a little bit more with it, but I still had a lot of fun. Soundtrack was pretty decent. It's definitely not Jake Kaufman. And from what it sounds like, from what I could find, because I scoured the internet for as much information on why Jake Kaufman wasn't doing the Shantae and the Seven Sirens soundtrack, And the only real thing that I could hear or that I could find was that he basically resigned from Way Forward, and he's just doing like independent work now or something. Which, why can't you be independent work and still be hired by Way Forward to do soundtracks? So that's kind of depressing.
Unless he's playing death metal now, then that'd be kind of cool.
I mean,
I kind of want to play some death metal. I kind of don't want to make soundtracks.
Then after that, I finished. I wrapped up Yakuza 0 finally.
What was that? Say that again.
I finished Yakuza 0.
That's my boy.
My views hadn't really changed a whole lot since the last time I talked about it. Just I'm not a fan of that combat style. It was fine, but it just seemed it was very.
Yeah, we get it. You're bad at video games. It's okay.
Just very repetitive. But the story was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I think I like Majima more than Kiryu, but Kiryu's still awesome. They're both awesome characters.
Yeah, I was definitely a bigger fan of Majima and his whole story arc.
Like, he just seemed more fleshed out.
Yeah, but the turn he takes at the end, which is basically how he is for the rest of the season.
That was kind of like
I find him. Yeah, he went from like real like stoic guy to being like the fucking
crazy man,
Tokyo Joker.
Yeah, Tokyo Joker.
So like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, like, because he was like very like level-headed and very grounded, like the entire game, like more so than Kiryu even.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, like, story-wise, and this is a extremely Japanese thing, not knocking them as a culture or anything, but it's just Japanese are very much into tradition and honor, and monologues when it comes to media, and it kind of, I would say, like, even like maybe like halfway through the game, it really started to grate on me that like every time like there was like a significant like encounter, like it's big monologues, big talking about honor and tradition. The fact that Kiryu and Majima stayed I'm not looking for the right word. They're like honor bound to the Yakuza like the entire time, despite like the Yakuza constantly trying to kill them and all this stuff. Like, just I don't like, why would they this whole time, why would they like, no, I'm Yakuza, I'm honor bound. It's like, no, you've been kicked out, they're trying to kill you, they're killing all your friends, they're doing this.
He's got to prove himself innocent.
It's like, it just drove me insane. But other than that, like, and the monologues.
Did you turn into Tokyo Joker with Majima as a result?
I was getting there.
You can start dressing like crazy Majima. That'd be sweet.
But yeah, so that was Yakuza 0. Then you played through all the 360 Gears games, but we played through 2 and 3 together.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for that. They were a lot of fun. I mean, I
was glad I got to finally get you to fire up that Xbox 360 and see if it worked.
Yeah. Well, I knew it worked. I tested it when I bought it, but I hadn't touched it since I bought it.
Press the power on and fire it up. Didn't die immediately.
Nope, we tested a game. I'm pretty sure we tested Gears, one of the Gears games, because I think that's when I got one of them. But yeah, they're fun. Seems I'm the odd one out, and I enjoyed 3 more than 2.
Yeah. I like the story of 2.
I think that the story of 2 was better, but Gears, it feels more of like a gameplay game. And I think that just the gameplay in 3 felt a little more fun and kind of mixed up.
I like the arcadey feeling to it. It's got more of an arcadey feel. It's got like the scoring. I mean, we did play through on arcade mode, but it's got like the scoring. It's got the, cool co-op shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the mutators and stuff, which are fun.
Yeah. And yeah, we definitely need to co-op through Judgment, even though you just played it.
Any excuse to play Gears, I'm down.
I gotta cancel my live thing. It just refreshed. I was like, God dang it.
Okay, well, we'll try to do it before this month, before it lapses. And if we don't get to it in time, I'll give you a free week or something. I got a stockpile of those free weeks or 48-hour things. So.
Yeah. Then I was wanting to play some retro because I've been neglecting a lot of retro stuff, and decided to run through the 2 Wonder Boy games, the Monster World Wonder Boy games, or whatever you want to call that series, excluding the original Wonder Boy. So I played Wonder Boy and Monster Land when I was a kid, when I had a Master System. We had a family friend that had a Master System, but they wouldn't let me borrow games like much or for very long for some reason.
One of those friends that's like, you can borrow it overnight, but bring it to me at school tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't really know a lot of. I guess it hasn't been a conversation I've had much with my dad about this family friends, but I have a feeling like when things of value came into their house, they had quick turnarounds.
Okay.
Possibly for drugs or whatever. I don't know. But I'd played it, never beaten it. So
okay. I was gonna say, I totally had friends like that where you borrow them things and be like, it's okay, just get back to me when you're done with it. And then they borrow something to you and be like, are you in the middle of this game still? Why do you need it back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like checking up on it, like, you beat it yet? Did you beat it? Did you beat it? Did you beat it? And not just wanting to talk about it, like, oh, that's pretty cool. They're like, oh, so you didn't beat it yet? No. I thought they actually wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, shit. Well, I guess I better devote all my time to playing this game so I can get it back to you. So that's when I stopped borrowing games.
Yeah, I don't do it very often.
There's few people, but yeah, there's not many people.
Yeah.
I don't borrow games from anybody unless I have no other option.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed Wonder Boy and Monster Land when I was younger. Of course, like I was like, oh, this is I basically played Zelda and Wonder Boy around the same time.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, oh, this is like a Zelda like game or anything. It kind of felt, it was definitely along those lines, and I especially like that it was more along the lines of Zelda 2, which I prefer over Zelda 1. And I'd played it some years later, but I never finished it. So it's like one of my highlights of my Master System collection. So I was like, finally time to knock this game off the backlog. Played through it, enjoyed it a lot. The game is very difficult, so I emulated, used save states. Don't have any regrets because I don't have the patience to run through this game as many times as I would have had to beat it.
Okay.
And then I followed that up immediately with Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, and this is the remake by Lizard Cube, who also did Streets of Rage 4.
Sweet.
And this game was a joy.
Aren't they?
What's that?
They're working on something else too, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
I heard something. I
hope so.
There was a game that they were kind of reviving, and it sounded cool. I wish I remembered. It'd be super cool to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, this game, absolute joy to play. There is so much soul and life in the art style that they did. And what's really neat is kind of like the Monkey Island remake is at any time you just push a button and it'll switch back to the original art style, and you can click one of the joysticks or one of the analogs and it will switch back to the original music. So you can like do either or. So I was swapping back all the time because again I'd played Dragon's Trap, but I never beat it in the past. It is my favorite Master System game.
Have you played all of them?
All of the Wonder Boy games? I haven't.
Okay.
I played those, the original, all the Master System ones, and Adventure Island. But Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap is the definitive version. It's available on modern consoles. I mean, you can basically play. I mean, you can switch it to the original if you just want to play the original. But it has some really nice
I
a
love
few.
that.
Yeah, it has a few like quality of life improvements that are really nice. But I mean, just for the art and the music, I mean, it's one of the best. Doing the like full hand drawn art style. I mean, other notable, like Cuphead. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Cuphead!" Like this is like that level. It's so good.
Yeah, it's on my short list. I'll probably be playing it soon, and we can maybe discuss it more in depth.
Yeah, and I wanted to keep going with the series, but I don't have the Genesis Wonder Boy in Monster World. And right now, of course, retro prices are stupid, so it doesn't look like I'll be getting that anytime soon.
I got that. I got lucky and got that one a little while ago.
Yeah.
I think I got it at. Did I get it at MGC or did I just order it? Maybe I
I'm
might
not
have
sure.
ordered that one. But yeah, I got that. And I got the TurboGrafx CD version.
Nice.
And I've got the Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
Yeah, I got Cursed Kingdom, but I want to play Monster World and Monster World 4, which would require a repro or just emulate. But I want to play the series in order, so
yeah,
that's on hold. But I decided that I was kind of like, I want to knock out another series sort of thing. So then I jumped into the Momodora games. And this is kind of like one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit more about because I found out about the series when Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight was released. And it was a really cool looking Metroidvania, pixel art style and whatnot. And I kind of just liked the aesthetic of this game, kind of like a not quite Victorian, but sort of in that realm or like Renaissance-y, very Castlevania, I guess, in some regards. But looking at a lot of times when these games are released, I'll look into them a little bit more. Found out that this is actually a series of games, and Reverie Under the Moonlight was a prequel. And the developer said, no, you don't need to play the first 3 games. The most you gain from them is if you play through the whole series, you can get some like series lore stuff that's interesting, but it's not that important. So anyways, Momodora Series is developed by Bomb Service, mostly by this person called Ardeen or Ardine. That's the kind of developer behind it, small indie developer. Originally made Momodora 1, which was kind of a platformer, kind of inspired by something like Cave Story, for anybody who is familiar with Cave Story. So Momodora 1, again, kind of this retro platformer, had a very cool style, cool music, had a more of a focus on guns. So you start out with like a leaf, which is kind of like your sword, and then you get guns, and then you just use the guns like pretty much the rest of the game. A lot of fun, cool game. It's only available on itch.io, where you basically can pay the dev directly, download the game however much you want. You can download it for free. I threw them a couple bucks because that's what they were selling Momodora 3 on Steam for.
You just found out some ones and just
It's, I was like, I really enjoyed the game and I wanted to support the dev because I enjoyed it that much. So then I immediately jumped into Momodora 2, which again is only available on itch.io. And Momodora 2 expanded into a Metroidvania. Again, a very short game. Like both of these games you can beat in like 2-3 hours. At most. I mean, I think Momodora 1 I think they only took me an hour. But loved it. Had a lot of fun with it. It's a Metroidvania, has its own style, kind of a interesting the kind of tie-in to the story at this point, with some characters, and like you don't need that story aspect, but just helps bump it up a little bit. And then jumped into Momodora 3, which took a step back, more like the platformer of the first game, but it looked like the art style just improves a little bit each time. So Momodora 3 has the best art style. I think Momodora 2 had the best gameplay thus far. And Momodora 3 is available on Steam, but not on consoles, unfortunately, which is a bummer. But all that was leading up to Reverie Under the Moonlight, or Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight, which is available on everything. And this is like the evolution of Ardine's work, art style, storytelling, gameplay. It's a Metroidvania. I had a blast playing it. Throw some challenge, like all these games have a little bit of challenge, not like a lot of current games, which I think are too easy. This one, made you work a little bit. It wasn't overly difficult, but gameplay is great, looks great, music's great. Had a ton of fun with it.
Sweet.
Highly recommend it for anybody who plays Metroidvanias or enjoys Metroidvanias. I would say Reverie Under the Moonlight is, that's going to be one of my mentions from now on, like top 10 or something. I don't know. I don't think it'd break it into the top 5, maybe top 10. It's great.
That's a good idea for a video.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but we'll see. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to videos these days.
I dare you to make a video.
Yeah, right. But Reverie Under the Moonlight, yeah, great. But Bomb Service and Ardine actually released a game last year, which is their most recent game, called Minoria or Minoria something. It takes all their development, all their work, brings it into a new thing. Like Minoria is not connected to Momodora. Unfortunately, it's only available on PC, Steam, so that's a bummer. But holy crap, like I thought, couldn't get much better than Reverie Under the Moonlight. Minoria, I think, it doesn't have it's not pixel art. It's 3D rendered characters. But what's really neat about the art style is if you've seen like the promo artwork for the Momodora series or Ardine's like the key art, the character art, sketch art or whatever, it looks like that, which I think is pretty sweet.
That's pretty sweet.
But
Reverie Under the Moonlight when it was under limited run, but
yeah,
I thought it was part of a series that I don't have a hope of playing. I was just like, I don't really want to jump in the middle of the series.
Yeah, but like I said, fortunately it's a prequel, so you don't need any of those elements. It's just like if you had played the other games, you kind of get a little Easter egg almost.
I was listening while you were talking, but at the time I was just like, but I would want to.
I highly recommend Reverie Under the Moonlight, but I didn't think the next game would be so much better. Minoria was awesome. I had a ton of fun with it. A little bit, it's more story. Reverie Under the Moonlight has story and stuff, but it's kind of it's lighter. It's not saying it's absent. It's more story than like something like Axiom Verge. Like there is some ongoing, but this one has like a storyline the entire time, character dialogues. It's really neat is that you're actually you're playing through as you're playing basically like a warrior nun, but she also has like another nun with her that doesn't do anything. It's just more for like interaction. Like you're always there, but she disappears when you're playing the game. But she'll come out like during story events and stuff. But what's kind of cool is like you can hit like R1 and the other character, Anna Fran, will like say things like about areas or encounters, which is neat to kind of like add another element, another layer of story. But gameplay wise, like you got your, I don't want to say typical Metroidvania, but a lot of Metroidvanias are pretty typical. You know what to expect. It has that, but it's really neat is that on top of like, having different weapons and different abilities and stuff, it has a really cool parry system, which basically all enemy. I believe in the past I've seen, because I've been following the dev for a long time, ever since like I see awesome pixel art, I follow those people. So I've been following the main dev for quite a while, and I believe in the past they said they really disliked that people would throw in like comparisons to Dark Souls, and I totally understand why the dev would say that, because this game, it does not play like Dark Souls or anything at all. But it takes some like more aesthetical like inspirations, like when you do a boss fight, you know how it does like the boss in Dark Souls, the health bar at the bottom with the name, like it has that, like people are like, oh, it kind of looks like Dark Souls. Well, not really, like it's just an aesthetic choice. But the parry system is not quite like Dark Souls would be.
Well,
but,
everything's got to get somehow linked to Dark Souls these days.
Yeah, basically. But look
at them just ripping off Dark Souls.
But I think that parry, I mean, it sounds like so basically a lot of enemies will have a telegraph thing, and then you can parry, and then your character will basically block the attack, won't take any damage, and will do like this big like teleport multi-slash, so you can do this like all the time. And it's simple, yet it elevates the gameplay a lot, and it's just a solid game. Like the atmosphere, there's so much great atmosphere to it. Like the story is really interesting, the characters are interesting, there's some like moral quandaries and whatnot. I loved it. Again, I'm not sure where I'd rate it, but I was surprised that I enjoyed it more than Reverie. I haven't posted. I just finished it before we started recording the podcast. So I haven't posted anything about it, but oh man, I had a lot of fun. There's 2 different endings, and it's kind of like gray on which ending's the right ending or the correct ending, but I'm pretty sure I know which one. It doesn't necessarily like set up for a sequel, but I hope it does. Like I haven't looked into it yet to see if the developer is working on a sequel or currently working on a game. But what's pretty interesting with both, any discussions I looked on Steam when I was trying to look at like some secrets or something, like it was kind of neat actually seeing the developer actually was pretty active in responding to people on Steam. So that's pretty interesting. So maybe I could shoot him a tweet and say, hey, what are you working on? Because I don't think I've seen any current game dev stuff. And I need to, this is one of those instances where I gotta like shoot a tweet to Limited Run and be like, hey, do a release from Minoria. You did Reverie Under the Moonlight. Let's do it.
Yeah. Say bitches with a Z.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Sure. Like, whoa, we can't be bitches. We better do it.
Yeah. But I mean, in the end, I think this is a great series that's really gone under the radar for a lot of people, especially because the first game, for the Momodora series, 3 of the games are only available on PC, and then for Minoria, that's only available on PC, but plays with a controller. The Momodora 1 through 3, or 1 and 2 for sure. Like I actually I downloaded a controller mapping program, because the first one, like the games are set up for only keyboard controls, and I just can't roll with that anymore when it comes to platformers. So I was able to map all my buttons to my PS4 controller. But oh man, these games are so good. Like do play them. I know Black Metal Gamer has played Reverie Under the Moonlight. And I remember when he played it, he's like, yeah, you got to check this out. When it was on my radar at the time, but I believe he enjoyed it quite a bit as well. So good stuff. So that was kind of my big spiel that I wanted to really touch on this episode. It's that Momodora and Minoria. Definitely play if you get the chance. Do it. I triple dog dare you.
You didn't say it like Arnold.
I can't do Arnold.
No. Terribly, I don't care.
So yeah, that was my extended spiel. So enough about what I've been playing. You've been playing a lot of games as well.
I have. Why don't you scroll down so I can see all that stuff?
And that you've been doing some podcasts too.
I've been doing a lot of shit. It's been we haven't been doing a lot of this podcast, but I've been doing a lot of podcasting in general. In the meantime, on our hiatus, Super Enabler Bros show, episode 5 and 6 came out. And episode 6 had our first guest, Captain Algebra. It was a lot of fun.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, it was excellent. We finally I think we've got it kind of locked in for keeping the time down a bit. So it won't be any more like 2.5 hour episodes or anything. Well, maybe. That's not a promise. We're just trying to be mindful of it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We look to have more guests soon, so stay tuned. And also, for the second month in a row, I was on the CC Prime Game of the Month podcast for Gears of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little different this month as I was the only guest. It was just me and our buddy Musty Hobbit. But we had a hell of a conversation. So definitely check that out. And obviously, please check out Super Neighbor Bros if you haven't yet. That's what's been deciding a lot of these games that I've been playing. The backlog roulette has enabled a lot of gaming, so that's good. So far, I'd kept on top of my backlog roulette picks every episode, but I completely spaced the one I'd gotten on episode 5 and only realized like 2 minutes before we started recording on episode 6. Yeah, so that was as a punishment, I played an additional game in the same subject. So it wasn't really a punishment. It was also fun. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, crushed some games. So since the last episode, I've beaten Guardian Heroes, Battle Los Angeles. Remember that shitty movie? Me neither.
I barely remember that movie, and I watched it and I hated it.
Yep, bad.
I remember where I was living when I watched that and everything. It was like,
where were you when 9/11 happened?
Like, it looked like the advertising and everything made it look really cool. Like, I was really stoked for that when it came out. Like, I ran to Hollywood Video and rented it, like, I think on release day, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was out around the time my wife worked at Movie Gallery, because I think that's what we did. We got a free copy when it came in and watched it and was like, oh, this didn't cost me money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game, not any better. The funny thing is, I got all the achievements in it, but the difficulty achievements do not stack. So I beat that game 3 times.
Oh, why do you hate yourself?
The first playthrough took about maybe an hour, and then I went through it on easy and hard. And hard took like the smallest amount of time because I just knew exactly what to do, and I just ran through it. It was like I swear to God, it was like 30 minutes to beat it on hard. It was funny, but yeah. So not a fun game by any stretch of the imagination. It's delisted. And so that kind of prompted me to play some other delisted games that I found on my 360. I started a few. I didn't get really to the end of any of them, but I also played the TMNT arcade game on there, which is always a fun game to play. It's delisted now, but at least it has the original music, unlike the arcade 1-up machines I've heard don't have all the original soundtracks, which is garbage. I'd rather play a ROM of it than an edited version, because especially the first game, that first level music is like, if I need cheering up, I'm just gonna listen to that song.
Yeah, right.
Like that song and like the overworld music from Super Mario Bros. 2. Like if I need to cheer up, that's some.
Oh yeah,
that's some primo music right there. So yeah, stomped through that. It had been a while since I played the 360 version, so it was cool. Then I played another delisted game. It was a Kinect game. It was the TMNT Training Layer, which is essentially like Fruit Ninja, but it shows you and things are flying at you, and you have each turtle's weapon in each level. So one level you're doing it with size, one level you're doing it with the bow staff, swords, nunchucks. Nunchucks were a pain in the ass because there's also stuff you're not supposed to hit, but the nunchucks just kind of keep swinging a little bit.
Sure.
So I kept it wasn't tough or anything, but it was like it made it kind of annoying at parts. But overall, it was decent. The kids would give that a 10 out of 10. They were fighting over it. I played through it a couple times. had my fun with it, and then the kids were like,
well, yeah, it's
at each other's throats. I want to be the Ninja Turtle. Because
like, it's one thing to use a controller, and it's another thing like VR games like this or Kinect games, like those are like made for kids, like
oh yeah, they
through and through.
When they seen Dad with Ninja Turtle weapons, they're like, "Get out of the way, Dad! I want to play that shit." And then right after that, when I got the kids to stop fighting, I started Gears 2 with you. We finished that. Started Gears 3 with you. We got most of the way through it. Then we had to kind of take a week off till our schedules aligned again. And in the meantime, I beat Gears Judgment, and then we finished Gears 3.
Yeah. And I will say a large part of why I delayed the podcast those few weeks was not because I was being lazy, but because I wanted to play through Gears.
That was nice. We should just podcast while live streaming Gears at the same time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I felt bad. We were coming down to the wire. I knew we were probably only going to be able to beat 3 before the end of June, and it was kind of like this mini goal I had where I was going to play all the 360 installments in June, and I was also playing the Ultimate Edition of Gears 1 because I knew I just wanted to be taking part in the play along with Prime, but then a couple people like tagged me to be in the episode, and I was like, I don't know if they'd want me. I was just on the last episode, but they're like, you can do it. So that was fun, and it was a cool goal. We can still play Judgment. I didn't throw it out, so we're good. Even though it is a lot of Baird.
Baird game.
Baird is more.
Why? Like, why?
I don't know. My least favorite character in the entire series.
I think that's everybody. And it's like, why Baird?
There's someone whose favorite character is Baird, and fuck that guy.
But, yeah.
Or girl, whatever. I hate any person. Fuck that person. That Baird is their favorite. But then I played some other cool games. I bought Maneater, which is like a shark, almost like an RPG. It's got RPG elements. You rip the shit out of anything alive. You go on land, even if you need to. You jump out of the water, take out boats. Really simple idea. Really well executed. You can upgrade your shark with like different looks and armor and abilities and stuff. It was awesome. I got all the achievements on it because I was just that into that game. I didn't want to stop playing it. And yeah, I recommend it. If you haven't looked into it, check it out. If you liked any of the Jaws games, there was a couple of Jaws games. There was one on the PS2. There was one on the Wii. I don't know if there was
NES.
Also on the other stuff. Oh yeah, but it plays like those Ultimate Predator and I can't remember Jaws Unleashed.
Yeah,
games. It plays along like the lines of those, but I think I like this one better. It was pretty well done. Then I jumped into Doom 64. I actually started Doom 64 when I got Doom Eternal. While I was waiting for it to install, I downloaded and played the first, 6 or 7 levels of Doom 64. Then promptly abandoned it once the game installed because that game was pure deliciousness. But I picked it back up and finished it. Good game. Hard as balls in some parts, but what do you expect? It's Doom. Yeah, if you haven't played Doom 64, check it out. It's one of the best classic Doom games. Then after that, speaking of classic games, I played and finished Comic Zone. It's the first time I've ever kind of done it like legit style. I beat it back in the day on the Genesis, but I'm pretty sure I used like some sort of codes or something because that game is pretty unforgiving and cheap with the healing items. So
I think codes are fair game.
Yeah, it's one of those games where like you gotta punch and kick stuff to break it to be able to keep going, but that shit hurts you. So even if you're like not getting hit a lot by the enemies, just traversing the environment hurts you, and you gotta be really strategic with how you do things because you could die pretty easily in certain areas. But yeah, great game. I got both the endings. It was a lot of fun. I finished the achievement list on that one as well, so that was kind of cool. I did the same with Doom 64, so I was like on an achievement streak for a few games there, for completions anyway. And then I finished up my first Backlog Roulette RPG edition, game, and that was Legend of Dragoon.
Nice.
And it is now one of my favorite PS1 games. It's one of those games that another one like Onimusha, where I'm like, that game looks badass. I've heard nothing but good stuff. I'll get to it one of these days.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say Dragoon was like their favorite PS1 RPG.
It's one of those games where the story is really cool, but as soon as you try, unless I went in depth for an hour about it, trying to explain the story just makes it sound like schlocky, dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to try, oh, there's these guys are like dragon knights and this and that. You're like, sounds like a JRPG, all right. But it was a really cool story.
The nuance.
Really cool battle system. I would liken it to like the Mario RPG or like Paper Mario style with the timed attacks. If you hit the button at the right time, you do more damage kind of thing. It felt like that anyway. So I think that was one of the things that got me really into it, because I really like that style in those games. That's a large part of why I like those games. So yeah, definitely, if for some reason you've waited as long as I did, check that game the hell out. And then I took on another game that has been one of my favorite beat 'em ups since back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Maximum Goddamn Carnage.
Game is so cool.
I've
never beat it though.
I blame this game and the 90s series for like really ramping up my love for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Really getting me into Venom.
Yeah, absolutely. Carnage? I mean, Carnage is...
This game, yeah, Carnage is cool. Just not in this game. He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
This game is not that hard. A ton of fun until you face Carnage. And he's one of those just like, you swear you're playing an arcade game. And it's one of those bosses that you're like, oh, this guy's just to make the game lunch quarters. Because you basically just save up your lives to fight Carnage because he is complete twat. But beside that, awesome game. I forgot about the weird like fake ending where like goes to credits and it's like, nah, just kidding, some more. You're like, oh yeah. So yeah, this is a game. It's my game that I'll just like pop in. It's like a casual play game for me. Like I introduced it to my son a few months ago. He loves it, obviously. I just pop it in, play a couple levels. I can turn it off, not feel bad about it, you know.
You can't talk about Maximum Carnage without mentioning that intro song of Carnage Rules by Green Jello.
Yeah, I love it. And I
think
it probably plays a lot into the nostalgia of loving the Genesis version, like since it came out. I played the Super Nintendo version at the same time, but I've always had a soft spot for the...
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah, and everyone thinks I'm dumb. But I like the guitar. I like the guitar sounds on Genesis. I think guitar... I'm not saying all of the sound effects are better. I know I'm not that dumb, but I think metal riffs and stuff sound cooler to me on Genesis. I don't know. It just sounds more like a guitar. So whatever. You don't have to agree with me. It's better. It's best on both. I don't need you to agree with me. I love it. It just sounds heavier on the Genesis.
Sure.
I don't know. You can enjoy your...
I'm not hating.
Enjoy your poppy Super Nintendo version, whatever. I think Night Ranger played that version. I'm not sure.
Sure.
And after that, I got into my TurboGrafx 16 Mini a bit and played a couple of games. And holy balls, are a lot of those hard as hell.
Fuck yeah, brutal.
Yeah, and I played through Ninja Spirit, which was not that hard of a game, honestly. Pretty fun, really creative. It was like a platformer, but it almost felt more like a shoot 'em up, to be honest. Ninja, you pick up these power-ups where it gives you like two other ninjas with you, like shadow ninjas, kind of like when you play a shoot 'em up and it gives you like the little side ships that'll like shoot for you too. It felt a lot like that, and the bosses were pretty easy. And then you get to the last part where you go through this cave and then you have to jump down this hole, and the hole is just ninjas flying upwards at you with their swords out, and you have to like you can shoot down and sometimes you get them, but it's not like a constant stream of bullets. So, and there's not a lot of reaction time. So you basically just have to hope to hell that you don't hit one on the way down, and it's quite a drop. and then you drop down, and it's the easiest end boss I've ever played.
Nice.
So the real hard part about the end of the game was avoiding the upwards ninja ghosts, I would say. So yeah, fuck those guys, but the guy at the end was an easy face roll, so
Nice.
made up for it. It would have been bullshit to get to the bottom of that, and then all of a sudden this guy just slaughters you in one hit or something. So kudos to them for that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep playing more of that. The kids and I have been having fun with it, even though it only comes with one controller. So
Yeah.
I should have bought another controller.
I know, I wish I
I'm sure
regret it.
they're through the roof right now because
Yeah, they are.
everyone's thinking the same thing. And then after that, I finished up Daymare in 1998, which is a game that started out as a Resident Evil fan game, and it plays a lot like the new remakes of Final Fantasy 2 and 3, and it does a pretty good job. It got its own quirks, and it's
Final Fantasy 2 and 3.
Did I say Final Fantasy?
You did.
Jesus Christ, Resident Evil 2 and 3. I'm tired.
Got
I'm
Final
tired.
Fantasy on the mind, apparently.
Yeah, I was thinking of Final Fantasy. Good games. I was thinking of remakes, that's why, and that's the most recent remake. Well, never mind. 3 was the most recent. So yeah, plays a lot like Resident Evil. Did I say it was a Resident Evil fan game?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did.
Well, that's what I meant. It plays a lot like the Resident Evil remakes. God damn, I'm dumb. But yeah, a lot of fun. It switches not just between two characters like those games do. You switch back and forth between, I think, 3 or 4 characters. And on the cover, the guy looks like Idris Elba, but he does not look anything like that in the actual game.
That's probably on purpose.
And his character, you probably saw my tweet about it, but I said bad voice acting at times. I meant just that guy. And he's got the most like heart-wrenching scenes and stuff, but you just can't care because he's like, I loved her, you bastard. So it's got like throwback cheese to it that I'm like, I respect it, even though it's kind of bad.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was not the Last of Us caliber acting or anything.
Sure.
But it being a budget title, it really was pretty strong. The last chapter was a bit of a pain in the ass, but besides that, it wasn't too bad. Just more bullet spongy.
Yeah.
I think I talked to you about it when I played it, but it was kind of funny. There's this part where you're supposed to lure this boss into this thing twice, and I did it once, and it didn't seem to do anything to him, so I didn't do it again. And I just kind of, if you keep something between you and him, he'll just kind of attack it at it and not affect you. And there's a place where you could keep grabbing more handgun clips. So I just kept him behind there and just kept shooting him. And I should have taken a screenshot of it because around me there had to be like 150 of these clips where I just kept, because you can drop them out of your gun. There's like 2 different kinds of reload you can do, where you do a quick reload where you just drop the clip where it stands and then pop another one in if you have another one. But you have to manually reload the clips of all the guns, which kind of adds to the survival horror element of it, where you're like, oh shit, I'm out of bullets if you don't keep on top of that. But yeah, with the infinite ones, I just kept dropping them, and I dropped everything I didn't need and just loaded up on him. So I was just like shooting him like hundreds of times, and then I was like, I guess I'll try to down him over here and trap him in this thing. And then it was like cutscene. I was like, oh, come on. Because it was like, that's the way you defeat him after like 45 minutes of just shooting him with this handgun and using up all the ammo on my other good guns. I was like, come on, man. But besides that, good game. A lot of fun. And after that, went right into The Last of Us remaster.
Hell yeah.
I bulldozed through it because I basically just wanted to refresh the story. I did the Left Behind DLC for the first time. I hadn't done that, but I kind of knew what was going to happen in that. I kind of read a summary of it before, but wanted to experience it before jumping into The Last of Us 2. And then I started it immediately, but then the next day I went to Walmart, and unbeknownst to me, they had released Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath combo edition or whatever, basically like a complete edition of Mortal Kombat 11. And I'm sure we've talked about it before, how badly I've been wanting to play this game.
Yep, same.
Especially with the Madding Terminator. and RoboCop.
As soon as he sent me the picture, they picked it up. I ordered it on Amazon because I didn't know it got released either.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn, it's that norm. If we'd been podcasting, we probably totally would have known because we would have been checking the upcoming games.
Right.
But yeah, I was so happy to see that I dropped a game that I was super into just to play this, and I played it all in one sitting.
Wow.
Mortal Kombat 11's complete storyline, and it was not short. And then
spoilers.
aftermath right afterwards. And yeah, I think I left like 2 fights for the next day. I was like, I want to enjoy some of this tomorrow too. So I did like the last 2 fights, but yeah, great game. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah,
probably the most ambitious and most I've seen them stirred up since the beginning. Like it was, I mean, since like forever they've had great story modes from the last 5 or 6 games. So
we'll probably make it a point to talk about it because I'm gonna play it probably before the next episode.
I dare you to try and play that shit.
You're not gonna dare me. I'm going to.
Right now you're gonna because I dared you. But, but yeah,
I think I am.
Phenomenal game. I definitely liked the story more of this one, but I think I might like the actual like combat of X better. I don't know. I'm gonna explore the other characters more than I got to in the story, so we'll see. There's a couple characters I definitely don't like playing as, but and then after that, I caught up. Speaking of my backlog roulette games, the one that I forgot, I actually had my pick was Astro Boy on the PS2, and it was a really fun game. It was like you fly around as Astro Boy, like you would in like a Superman game, and you just go to all these missions, and it's got a pretty well realized world of Astro Boy, and it's got like a lot. It's more based on like the cartoon or the anime. So I loved that because I was all about that show when I was a kid. I remember watching the hell out of that. So it was really like a blast from the past for me. And yeah, it really gave me the feeling of like being Astro Boy. So that was pretty cool. And then, as I mentioned, I kind of did a little quote unquote punishment game for forgetting that. I was like, before the next episode of Super Enabler Bros, I will not only beat Astro Boy, but I'll beat Astro Boy, the video game, which is based on the 2009 movie, the CG movie. And I didn't mind that movie either. And the game was a pretty cool game, a different style. There was beat 'em up platforming levels, and most of the time though it was a side-scrolling shmup. So it was cool to play that too. But I think I liked the other Astro Boy game better. I've been wanting to play the Game Boy Advance game. I've been hearing good stuff about it. Our buddy Chris has been saying, yeah, you should play that. It's an awesome game. And a couple other videos I saw have confirmed it. But I'm not really up to playing 50 some bucks for it. So unless I find it cheap, it's going to be waiting a while. But it would be kind of cool to beat basically the only 3 games that I'm aware of for Astro Boy. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And as I mentioned, I'm in the middle of Onimusha right now, so loving the hell out of that. And I'll probably beat that tonight.
Cool. So I think we're running a bit long, so we'll kind of sprint through the last little bits here. Upcoming games in the next couple weeks. Of course, we already mentioned Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. Comes out on the 10th. And then I think the other one that everybody's looking forward to is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Hells yes.
Finally. Looking forward to that heavily. I hope I'll be able to get my mail brought from across. I had a source for picking up my mail for a bit, but they're having, they're being more strict at the border now. So even they can't get across as much now. So I've got a stack of toys and games over there. It's going to be, Christmas isn't even going to be cool.
Yeah, right.
I've been getting these big drops of mail in huge chunks that I generally go over once or twice a week to break up, so I'm not paying crazy duty on. But yeah, I cannot wait. I'm hoping to get that soon. And my Iron Man VR.
Yeah. Then as per lately, I wanted to shout out the what's going on in the Cartridge Club. Of course, as Jason said, the episodes for Gears of War is now available. Definitely listen to that. And I think we had recorded the Undertale episode last time, but hadn't released it before our last episode of the podcast. But Undertale episode is available as well.
And we're both on that one.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Then Quick Save Club's episode of Terraria is available. And CC Portable's episode of CC Portable Mania is also available. And
is that the last one I've seen?
That was unfortunately the last episode of Cartridge Club Portable. Curtis said he kind of did what he wanted to do, played the games he wanted to play, and it was time for him to move on. He says he has some other projects that he's going to work on. I don't know if that is content creation or something outside of that, but he had mentioned if anybody wanted to take up, anybody in the Cartridge Club wanted to take over CC Portable, they are more than welcome to do so. I haven't heard of any talks about that, so I think it is what it is, and that's unfortunate because I really enjoyed his show. But Cartridge Club CC Prime game of the month for July is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, which is a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
And Quick Save Club, they are still playing Antichamber because they're doing every other month. So definitely get involved, play along, tweet about it, post about it on social media or something. The Cartridge Club has a forum. They have a Discord.
Are you going to get down on some Yoshi's Island this month?
I'm not sure. I've beaten it before, so it's a pretty easy game. It's a fun game. I don't even know if I have it.
Which do you like better, 1 or 2?
I like 1 better. Yeah, Super Mario World, yeah, definitely. But Yoshi's Island is a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it spawned like a whole offshoot series, basically.
Yeah. So then I know you mentioned Onimusha and hopefully Ghost of Tsushima, but what else you got planned in the next couple weeks?
Well, I got kind of behind. You can never predict how much I'm going to be able to play games, but I had started Sakura Wars, the newer PS4 game, and then realized holy shit, Last of Us 2 is coming out next week, and so I was a little bit behind, and dropped it to crush the first one and second one. So now that that's over with, I'll probably go back to that when I'm done Onimusha. I've got to play Ni no Kuni 1. It came up as my backlog roulette RPG game after Legend of Dragoon, so I'll be checking that out as well over the next couple of weeks. And I don't know, you know me, all over the place. I want to play more VR, but I can't seem to get down to this game room ever, and I don't really want to set up the VR as much as my PS4 Pro has been in my living room. That's how I managed to get through the Last of Us games, and I know I shouldn't let my kids watch it, but they were enjoying watching it. Besides, I've got the 2 TVs set up in the living room, and we've been playing the rehydrated version of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. So that was an odd go-between. I'd be playing Last of Us, and they're like, Dad, can't get this. Oh, sorry, I'll help you get that pair of socks up on top of that building. So, yeah.
Nice.
It was a cool Jekyll and Hyde moment.
But I think then for me, and I'm assuming you too, Curse of the Moon 2, I'll probably be getting that on Friday.
Don't ever call me you too. I'm not Bono.
Yeah. And then
I'll be playing that too, yeah.
hopefully after that, I'll probably knock out MK11 and Aftermath.
Yeah.
And then Ghost of Tsushima is just right around the corner next
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, that's probably, it's more like what's probably going to happen. I'll probably, Onimusha, play a bit of Sakura Wars, and then jump into Bloodstained again.
Yeah.
Because I so love that series. It's basically Castlevania now. So
Yeah, basically.
Castlevania is not Castlevaniaing, so we gotta go to.
Yeah. Then I guess as we close things up here, if anybody is still listening and doesn't know how to get a hold of us, I will let you know how to do that right now. So of course the podcast is available via SoundCloud, YouTube, and podcast apps. So Podcast Addict, Apple Podcasts, pretty much however you listen to podcasts, you should be able to listen to the Game Tenants Podcast. Then if you want to get a hold of me, I'm available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just look up the Game Grinder and you will find me. And Jason is available on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Look up Corpse Flood Gaming and you will find him.
You'll see me there.
Yeah, definitely do that. And let us know what your favorite video game armor is in the comments. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Then I think that is going to do it for this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast.
Rock and roll.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.